Very good morning, children. So, yesterday we had discussed about some of the basic things, fine. And today I want everybody to be very, very attentive, children, because I'll be explaining you some basic terms, fine, and definition that used in heredity. So, as you can see, term one is chromosome. So, what is chromosome? It is a long rod-like structure in a nucleus. Within a nucleus, there is a structure that is chromosome. It appears during cell division, children, and it carries genes. Now, what is gene? A functional unit of heredity is said to be gene, which is present on a chromosome. So, this is a chromosome, and a functional unit is said to be the gene, one part of it. So, it is a piece of DNA that codes for one protein. And remember this thing, bete, it determines the particular character in you. Fine. Every gene is responsible for a particular character. Now, what is character then? It is a feature or characteristics of an individual, like your height, your color, your shape. These are your characteristics. And what are trait then? Trait are the inherited character. Fine. Like your example, your features, which is normally inherited, and its detectable variant too. Here, tall and dwarf are traits of a character height. So, children, like yesterday we had discussed about the inheritance of trait for one contrasting trait, that is monohybrid cross. Fine. So, in which we have taken two plants. Mendel has taken two plants. One is tall, one is dwarf. So, height is character. And talking about tall and dwarf, these are its trait. Yesterday we had also discussed about the allele, bete. What is allele? One of the different forms of a particular gene. It is a form of gene, fine, occupying the same position on a chromosome, like capital T is allele, small t is allele. Fine, children. Now, what is hybrid? An individual having two different alleles for the same trait, like it is, if it is two capital T, small t, this is a hybrid. Fine. Now, yesterday we had also discussed about the dominant allele and recessive allele. So, we will be discussing them in detail now. So, an allele whose phenotype will be expressed even in the presence of another allele of that gene, means which is able to express itself. For example, there are two alleles, but despite of presence of that second allele, the one it is able to express itself even when the second allele is present of that gene. So, that is what the dominant allele is. Dominant means when something is able to express itself. So, it is represented by the capital letter, that is T. And what about the recessive allele? An allele which get masked in the presence. Masked means hidden, which get hidden in the presence of dominant allele and can only affect the phenotype in the absence of a dominant gene. So, remember this thing, if dominant gene is not present, only then recessive will be able to express itself. Okay? For example, small t. It is represented by a small letter. Like yesterday we had done a dwarf plant, small t. Next, children, genotype and phenotype. So, what is genotype? Genetic composition of an individual. Like I told you, the two ratios that we have got from the monohybrid cross. That was this phenotypic ratio and genotypic. So, we had discussed now, bete. Genotypic is genetic composition and phenotypic is which is observable. See, find the observable characteristics, the physical character that you can observe, whether something is tall, whether something is dwarf. You can see, you don't know its genotype. Now, what is monohybrid and dihybrid, bete? A hybridization cross in which inheritance of only one pair of contrasting character is studied. That is why we had studied about the height only, that is tall or dwarf. Fine. So, that is height, only one pair of contrasting trait. And what is about the dihybrid cross then? A cross in which the inheritance of two pair of contrasting trait are simultaneously studied. Like for example, we will be discussing this thing today. Mendel has taken two contrasting character, one with green round seed, one with a yellow wrinkle seed. So, that is a dihybrid cross. Then we have homozygous and heterozygous, bete. What is homozygous? A condition in which an individual possesses a pair of identical genes controlling the character. So, it is the identical gene. Okay? For example, occurrence of two identical alleles for tallness, that is capital T and capital T. And what about heterozygous? A condition in which the individual has a pair of contrasting genes for one character and will not breed true for this character. Example, existence of dominant allele and recessive allele. That is the hybrid one. That is capital T and small t. So these are the heterozygous. What is progeny, bete? Progeny is offspring as a daughter organism or the descendant. It's an offspring. Okay? And gamete, it is a reproductive cell containing only one set of dissimilar chromosome. So one set of chromosome is haploid and two set of chromosome is diploid. Fine, children? And you know that human being, they consist of how many chromosomes? 23 pairs. Fine. But in our sex cells, only only 23 number of chromosomes are there. So it is only then, bete, when the gamete fuses together, then the number of chromosomes are restored. Fine. Now, principle of segregation. Okay, children. So yesterday we had discussed about the monohybrid cross. Fine. In which the Mendel had taken tall plant with capital T allele and small plant, that is small t small t. So the gamete here is capital T and here it is small t. Take a bete. So what is law of dominance here? What is law of dominance? The one which is able to express itself. So you can see in the first one, the thing that is formed, the plant is completely tall with the allele capital T small t, that is the hybrid here. So yesterday we had discussed these things, bete. Take care. So here it is showing the law of dominance experiment. Mendel's experiment showing the law of dominance, that when he has taken the the tall plant with the short plant, so what happens? All the offsprings, all the tall offsprings were obtained in the F1 generation. Fine, bete. It means that the capital T allele has able to express itself. That is the dominant allele. Fine, children. Now similarly we have a principle of segregation. Take care. What is principle of segregation now? See, capital T and small t, capital T, small t. These are the two different alleles. Take care. And these are the phenotypically tall plant. Remember, phenotypically tall plant, not genotypically. Genotypical, though, it is only one. Take care. And it is hybrid. Second one is hybrid. So they are phenotypically tall plant. Whereas if we are talk about, these are phenotypically, if we'll talk about small t, this is short plant. Fine, children, this is short plant. So for a plant to be tall, the single copy of capital T is enough. Fine. If we want a plant to be tall, a single T is enough. Therefore, in trait, this capital T small t, we know that there is a capital T, that is a dominant trait. And what about the small t? It is a recessive trait. So in F2 generation, both the characters are recovered. Though one of these is not seen in F1 stage, that is the dwarf. But yesterday I told you that complete dwarf plant is seen in the F2 generation. So during gamete formation, the alleles of a pair, they segregate from each other. You can see here, even alleles retain its distinct identity, bete. Even though they remain together in an individual, they segregate only during gamete formation. So allele, they segregate during the gamete formation. Like you can see in a hybrid tall plant, that is capital T small t, capital T and small t segregate only during gamete formation. Fine. This is what they mean to say, that allele they retain its distinct identity but when they are together, but children, they segregate during the gamete formation. So here you can see in capital T and small t, bete, the plant is tall, but these are the gametes. Okay, they will be separating. Okay, they will be separating during the gamete formation. These alleles will be separating during the gamete formation, that is capital T and small t. Fine, children. This is what the law of segregation is. As you can see here, this is the hybrid that we have obtained from the F1 generation. We have fused up with it. Okay, cell pollination has been done. So the gametes you can see from this parent, like that is considered this male, this is as female. So here you can see two gametes have been formed, and when they are fused together, you can see. So one is this complete tall we have got here. Another one is also tall. Another one is also tall. Last one is dwarf. But the middle one, they are the hybrid, but tall, but hybrid. Fine. Phenotypically they are tall, genotypically they are like the ratio would be, yesterday we discussed na, there are two ratio, phenotypic and genotypic. What is phenotypic ratio here? 3:1, because 3 plant are seems to be tall and 1 is dwarf. And what about the genotypic? 1:2:1. Fine children. Now today we'll be discussing about the principle of independent assortment. Fine children. So what happens during gamete formation? Segregation of alleles of one pair. We know that alleles, they separate, they segregate. So their one pair is independent of the segregation of alleles of the other pair. Example, self-pollination of hybrid plant with round and yellow seed. So he has taken round and yellow seed. Fine children. So in this experiment he took two contrasting character. Remember this thing, earlier we had discussed about the monohybrid cross, in which the Mendel took one pair of contrasting trait. But in this he took two visible contrasting trait, that is color of seed and shape of seed of the pea plant. Color of the seed is, it could be, yes children, green, or it could be yellow. And what about the shape of the seed? It could be round or wrinkled. So they have he has taken two contrasting trait. So it was observed that the color and shape of the seeds were independent of each other. This is what the law of independent assortment is. So though we started with round yellow and green wrinkle combination, we obtained even, so we have taken these two things only. Mendel has taken only two contrasting trait. One was round green, one was wrinkled yellow. But still, when the fusion was done, so we obtained even round green also, yellow wrinkled also combination in F2 generation. This we'll be discussing now. Fine children. So this shows that the allele capital R, small r, capital Y, small y, they segregate independently. They have separated independently. That is why we have obtained some other result. That is the round green and wrinkled green as well. So you all can see here. See now. So the parents are, you can see the parental generation, that is capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. So they are being shown up with these dominant alleles, that is round yellow. Fine, round yellow. So the shape is round and the color is yellow. In the second case, you can see the shape is wrinkled and the color is green. So they are with their recessive allele. So what is the F1 generation that we have got here? So what are the gametes, bete? The gametes in the first case is capital R, capital Y. See here, the parent is capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. So what will be the gametes? In this case it is R and in this case it is Y. So we have got R and Y. Fine bache. Similarly, what about the second case? This is small r, small y. So if they are fused together, this thing is formed. That is capital R, capital Y, small y. Now beta, this is the F1 generation. What Mendel has done, he took a pea plant with two contrasting character that we had already discussed. Now when the F1 progeny was obtained, they had round and yellow seeds. So thus this establishing that round and yellow are dominant traits, beta, because they are able to express itself. Fine. So when Mendel was actually conducting the experiment, at that time he didn't knew that which one is dominant, which one is recessive. Fine. So but once the character is express itself, so he was able to tell that okay fine, this one is the dominant allele and this one is the wrinkled the recessive one. Now children, Mendel then allowed the F1 progeny to be self crossed, that is self pollination. Why he done that? To obtain the F2 progeny. So he found that the seeds were round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green. So you can see here. So this was the result for the F1 generation. He did the self crossing. You can see the gametes here, bete. It is capital R, capital Y in this case. Okay, RY. Then we have R small y. You just simply fuse it, bache. It is this like this na, like this. So you just simply make a Punnett square for the gametes. If capital R get fused up with this capital Y, this becomes small y. Similarly this with this. Fine children. So this is how the gametes has been formed. So they have placed these gametes here. This is the Punnett square. Fine children. Now you all can see when this is get fused up with this these gametes. So we have got round yellow seed. That is capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. Similarly, you can fuse up this with this, then this and this. Fine children, so the first row is finished. Now with the second gametes, that is capital R, capital. These are the male gametes bete and these are the female gametes. Take care. Now similarly with the capital R, capital Y, with this, first this, then this. Take care. Fuse up these gametes with the one I am pointing you out, and then third male gamete is small r capital Y. Fused up with this the first one of the female gamete, that is capital R capital Y, then with capital R small y, then with small r capital Y, and the last is small r small y, and finally comes here with the small r small y, also fused up with these four gametes of the female bete, and write down in the fourth one. Okay, so we have got the result, that is 9:3:3:1. This is the ratio बच्चे. ठीक है, 9 is round yellow, 3 is round green, 3 is wrinkled yellow, and 1 is wrinkled green. Fine children, I hope the concept is clear to everybody. So this was about the law of independent assortment. So children, we had discussed about the inheritance of traits for one contrasting character and two contrasting character. Thank you everyone.